Hey guys, so I'm Craig, so I'm part of the sales team here at Accelerate, and this is Drew, one of our master technicians who has just helped complete this Amarok build. So yeah, essentially, obviously this is one of the brand new Amaroks. So this is the Panamericana, so one of the fancier boys in Volkswagen's lineup. Obviously these vehicles are really heavily based around the Ranger platform as well. So pretty much everything you see here today is applicable to obviously a Ranger as well. Essentially, canopy on this one is a mode canopy, so manufactured by Zone. So it's all composite, so extremely light. But it did mean there were some challenges in terms of mounting a board and a bit of other stuff going on with it because it's not your traditional alloy canopy. But yeah, let's have a bit of a chat about what we've done, why we've done it, and why you should get it too. So this build was predominantly designed around being able to charge e-bikes off-grid and obviously be able to replenish the system enough to keep your e-bikes charged for obviously week-long adventures or however long they want to be able to use these bikes for. Not only that, obviously while they're off-grid and camping, they obviously wanted to be able to, you know, run induction cooktops, little coffee machines, kettles, all that usual sort of stuff that you'd want to use while you're off-grid. And the main thing was to obviously to be able to charge super quick from the vehicle as well while it's driving. So we put a sneaky extra BCDC in this one for that, which we'll sort of run through reasoning in a second. But yeah, essentially goal was awesome tourer, be able to charge your e-bikes off-grid, and yeah, just have that freedom that you don't need to be plugged in or amongst civilization all the time. You can go and do your own stuff, your own way, in your own time, in your own place, and not have to talk to everyone else, because we all know that talking to people sucks when you're trying to get away. You fitted it. What did we fit?
So we fit a 2000 watt Redrc inverter, Manager30 with a TVMS, Slimline B-TEC 200 amp hour lithium battery. What else? Some SIG sockets, USB charging sockets for your phones, solar input into the Manager30, and also there's a solar input for the BCDC, grey endo outputs as well. Yeah,
just some general outlet-y type stuff. So obviously they're all the main components we've used. We'll run through why we've used those components in a second. But probably the biggest thing about this build is it all had to go on a custom board. There was no pre-made board at the front of this. So I had to get a little bit creative around designing it and manufacturing. So give us a bit of a rundown on that process, Drew, and why was this a bit harder in this mode canopy compared to some others?
Yep, so with this mode canopy, they didn't have as much structural around all of the canopy. It's mainly down the centers and on the roof of this one. So as far as making a board to go across the whole back of the canopy, we had to get a bit creative with mounting mainly to the center and not going all the way to the ends, and splitting it up into 3 separate boards to get around that.
So when you're designing a board, obviously a fair bit of planning has to go into this, because obviously 90% of the cables are hidden where we can. So give us a bit of a rundown on that, like what sort of planning do you have to do prior to actually just getting in and going gun-ho at this thing?
Yep, so the main one is getting the layout of where everything's going to go. With this one, with the fridge cage in place, we're limited to a little bit of room, but we still made it all work. But yeah, getting the main sort of features in place so then you can run all your cabling according and get it all hidden behind the board. The good thing with this one, it did still have the structural part, which was give you a little space to hide a lot of the cabling behind the board.
Yeah, awesome. And the end results just turned out to be a really nice, neat, almost looks like a part of the canopy, this front board. So that's turned out really awesome. So let's run through all the parts that we've used and why they've worked really well in this build. So let's start at the heart of the operation, I guess. So the battery itself. So we've gone for the Enerdrive Slim 200 amp hour. Why do we use that one, Drew?
Why did we use that one?
Because we had one upstairs and I thought, let's chuck it in.
This one was nice and slim enough to go on the back of the fridge cage, keep away from having obviously a wide big B-TEC lithium battery on the floor. Gives you a lot more room inside the canopy being mounted up against it. makes it a bit neater for the cabling to run as well.
Yeah, and also because those B-TECs are in a super durable steel case too, means that the customer can stack obviously lots of gear up and around it, and it's really taking up very, very minimal room. So keeping optimal space in this canopy was a massive part of this build for this customer, and I think we've achieved that really well.
Yeah.
Now, to charge the battery, we've got a bit of a combination. So we've actually gone for a Manager30 with the addition of an extra 40 amp DC-DC. So tell us, Drew, why we would go for the Manager30 and what it does, and then also why we've added that extra DC-DC as well.
Yep. So the Manager30 works a lot in conjunction with the TVMS, but you can do solar input, 240 volt input charging through the Manager30, as well as your 1224 volt as well. But going with the extra BC to DC charger just gives you that extra 40 amps worth of charge.
Yeah, cool, awesome. So essentially, obviously, yeah, Manager30 does charging while you're driving, charging from solar, and charging from mains. So when you are at a grid and you need a quick charge from mains, and yeah, the extra 40 amp BC-DC. So basically give us a total of 70 amps charge from the DC-DC. Now, obviously having that extra DC-DC going all the time isn't super kind to your alternator. So how have we got around that, Drew? How have we managed to make it user selectable, I guess?
Yep, so going with the TVMS, it has a lot of output triggers that you can use via all the buttons and the soft pad outputs. We've used an ignition input to give you the functionality to turn the BC and DC off through the TVMS. So it'll only work whilst the ignition's on, the car is driving. So then that way, you can turn it on and off, so it doesn't hurt the alternator for keeping it on all the time. Yeah,
so we're just sitting around, then the vehicle idle, you just have the BC-DC turned off, so you're just putting in the 30 amps from the Manager. Then you're on the highway, you're cruising, bam, you can turn the extra DC-DC on, chuck in an extra 40 amps worth of charge, and get that battery topped up super quickly. Yep. So you've spoken a bit already about that TVMS system, that Redvision system. So give us a rundown, what it can do, what it's capable of. It's been around for ages, but there's still an awesome bit of kit. So yeah, give us the lowdown.
Yeah, so with your TVMS system, world is your oyster when it comes to possibilities. So it's got a lot of outputs. It's also got 3 digital inputs, so you can use it for headlights, indicators. You can run a lot of different inputs and outputs off of it. You do have the capability to trigger your Redarc inverters on and off through the TVMS system, so you don't have to reach over when they're mounted in a bit of an awkward place.
It's not just a screen, hey, you can do it through your phone as well?
You can do it through your phone, Bluetooth, you set it all up through your phone as well.
And they can also do things like temperature control. So if you want to put a probe in the fridge, you could. And if we were to put a water tank in the future, you can also monitor water tanks as well. So gives a really nice central switching point, and we can monitor everything. You can switch everything you want via phone or by the screen. So just a really awesome central base for the canopy, I guess. Cool. So obviously the customers' e-bikes are, the chargers are 240 volt, and as well as things like microwaves and induction cookers are 240 volt. So tell me how we're able to get the 12 volt battery power from the Enerdrive battery magically transformed into usable 240 volt household power.
Yep, so we went with the 2000 watt Redarc inverter. That works, like I said, in conjunction with your TVMS, so you can turn it on and off through the TVMS. Be able to and with 2 GPOs on board as well to be able to plug all your 240 outlets onto that. Yeah, cool.
So this one's a 2000 watt model. So for those of you at home who don't, I guess, really understand how much that can run, find an appliance in your home, doesn't matter what it is, as long as it plugs into a power point. If you have a look under it or on a tag on it, 9 times out of 10, they'll have a little sticker that says power consumption, and it'll say X amount of watts. So normally 2000 watts or 1500 watts. That's what that refers to. So you can't just go and plug a big 3-phase generator into this baby. It's not quite capable of that, but totally capable of doing, did I say 3-phase generator?
Yeah.
I meant 3-phase welder.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Generates power.
Yeah, no, three-phase welder. Anyway, you knew what I meant. But yeah, so 2000 watt inverter, run easy, induction cooktop, small kettles, coffee machines, all of that. Righto, Drew, so if the customer wanted to expand on this system or add anything to it, now how hard is it going to be to do? So like, if it wants a bit more battery capacity or something, is that a possibility?
Yep, with those B-TEC lithium, the slimline ones, you can stack them, which is, again, awesome because they are still very slim. Even if you stacked another one, you nearly wouldn't even notice that it's there. So there's another 200 amps worth of lithium as well that you can wire in with that as well to double your capacity.
Yeah, awesome. And I guess from there too, if we wanted to add another battery, we could then step up to like a 3000 watt inverter.
Yep.
If we wanted to. But having said that, this is a pretty good system for 90% of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's sort of always expandable to a degree if you ever want to. So yeah, just wrapping this one up, obviously, yeah, super good, awesome looking system, plenty of future expandability, and should give the customer everything he wants and needs. So obviously this is what we've done to this vehicle, Drew. We can obviously do similar systems to this to pretty much any car. So give us the lowdown. What do we do here, Drew? What else can we do for you and your particular build?
Yep, so if you contact this kind gentleman here, tell him what vehicle you have, what canopy system you have, be it a truck canopy, be it any canopy really, single cab, dual cab, you name it, we should be able to put just about anything into that canopy.
Yeah, and we have some really cool design options too, hey, so if you don't like timber canopy boards, I don't know why, they're pretty nice, but if you want something a bit flashier, a bit nicer, a bit more la-di-da, then we can totally do custom aluminium headboards too, powder coated, with your logo engraved, a laser cut into it. We've got a really cool team we work with for all of that side of things. So you think of it in terms of a canopy setup, we can do it. Now it's not just canopy setup, so if you've got a wagon you want a custom build done up for, even, or you know, dual cab with a style side canopy.
Yep.
We can do all that too. And now it's not just the electricals we do. Obviously that electrical is our bread and butter. We dabble in a bit of everything these days. So yep, we do bull bar, suspension, we're a Dobbo's dealer. So you like Dobbo stuff, hit us up. Yeah, any brand of bull bar you like, spotlights, roof racks. We do front runner roof racks now in particular, but I can do any brand you like. Wheels, tires, snorkels.
Yep.
Anything you want to create your perfect custom tourer, hit us up. We'll smack together a quote for you, get it all done in the one place, right here, exactly how you want it. And you don't have to drive everywhere, don't have to deal with 20 different people. All your warranty, all your correspondence is with one company. That's us, and we will take the time to design you your perfect tourer. Got any questions? Drop them in the comment section down below or give us a call. Check out our other touring builds up here, and YouTube reckons you should watch this and this guy.
Accelerate off-grid touring, powering your adventures.